So do you also want to automatically post your SaaS business testimonials on Facebook? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to collect, write and post SaaS testimonials on Facebook automatically. So over here I'm running a SaaS business and we use Google Forms to collect the feedback of our customers. So now what I want is that as soon as we receive a new feedback from Google Forms, I want to use an AI agent to analyze if that feedback is positive, negative or neutral. And if the feedback is positive, I want to generate a testimonial for the same and I want to share that on my Facebook. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Forms, OpenAI and Facebook. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to collect the customer feedbacks and turn them into polished SaaS testimonials using an AI and automatically post them on Facebook page. So over here I'm gathering the reviews from Google Forms, and this workflow uses AI agent to rephrase them professionally and schedules the post, saving me time while building social proof. So let's automate your testimonial marketing from start to finish. So this video is only going to focus on how to collect, write and post SaaS testimonials on Facebook automatically. So to do this, I have already created this automation, and first I'm just going to show you the proper working of this automation. So let's say that my name is Anjali Saxena and I'm just going to fill in this form. I use the SaaS software and I'm just going to give the feedback for the same right over here. So let's say I'm just going to click on this submit right over here, and as you can see the form has been filled, and now the details of this form has been captured right over here in my spreadsheet too. And now these details have been sent towards my workflow. My AI agent has first identified that if it is a positive feedback or a negative, and if this feedback is positive, then my AI agent has successfully created a Facebook page post for that. So I'm just going to open my Facebook and I'm just going to refresh it right from here to check for a new post created. So I'm just going to refresh it right from here to check for the new post created, and once I'm just going to refresh this page, you're going to see a new post has been created right over here within a minute ago. So as you can see, it is saying happy Friday everyone. Today we are shining a light on one of our superstar users, Anjali Saxena. So as you can see, the whole feedback has been converted into a testimonial and it has been shared on my Facebook page. So yes, this is the power of automation which we are just going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own SaaS business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm just going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. Now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account, and once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Connects account, and over here to get started with the automation we simply have to click on this create workflow button, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I have already created mine, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations, and now I'm just going to name my workflow as this: collect, write and post SaaS testimonials on Facebook automatically. So yes, now after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this button which says create, and once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger with multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application right over here, which is Google Forms. So I'm just going to search for Google Forms right over here, and then I'm just going to select it. And after selecting the trigger application for the trigger event, I'm just going to select it as new response received. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're just going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between my Google Forms and my Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what I'm just going to do is, first I'm just going to copy this webhook URL, and then I'm just going to open my Google Forms. And over here you have to make sure that the last question should be the required one. So I'm simply going to make the last question as required right over here. Alright, so you have to keep in mind that the last question should always be required. Alright, now after doing this, you have to go towards this responses, and over here you're going to see all the responses captured. Also, you're going to see the option right over here which says view in sheets. So I have already linked my Google Forms with my spreadsheet, so that's the reason that it is giving me the option of view in sheets. But if you haven't, you have to get the option of link with sheets right over here. Alright, so you can simply click on this link with sheets, and your sheets will be linked with your Google Forms. And as soon as you're just going to click on link with sheets, all your responses will be captured right over here in your Google Sheets too. And now we're just going to create a connection between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect workflow using this spreadsheet only. So what I'm just going to do is, I'm just going to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then towards this get add-ons. And we have to add an extension in this spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm simply going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here, and as you can see that this is the same extension which we have to add. So as you can see that I have already installed this extension right over here. That is the reason that it is giving me the option of uninstall. But if you haven't installed this, you're going to get the option of install right over here. And once you install the extension, you have to refresh your spreadsheet. It is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet. Otherwise, you'll not be able to get the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this option, we simply have to go towards this Pabbly Connect webhooks and then towards this initial setup. And after coming over here towards the initial setup, it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So for the webhook URL, I'm simply going to copy and paste this webhook URL which we received from my workflow. Alright, so I'm simply going to paste it right over here. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is I. So the trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. So for me, the trigger column is I, but for you, it can be anything else too. It will be depending upon the questions you have in your form. So that is the reason which we made the last question as the required one, because this will be our trigger column. Alright, so now after doing all of this, I'm simply going to click on this button which says submit. And once I'm just going to click on this submit, it is going to say setup configured successfully. And with this, we have successfully created a connection between my Google Forms and my Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what I'm just going to do is, I'm just going to open my Google Forms, and over here you're going to see that you first have to do a test submission by submitting a Google form. I've already submitted it, and I already have the details right over here in my spreadsheet. So I'm simply going to click on this button which says send test. And once I'm just going to click on this send test, yes, you can see it is saying test data sent successfully. And with this, we have successfully sent these details towards our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and as you can see that Pabbly has successfully captured the response for the same. And with this, we have successfully completed our trigger step. But not only clicking on this send test, but you have to keep in mind that you have to go towards this extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and switch on this button which is send on event. So it is a really important step to switch on this button, because if you don't switch on this button, whenever an event is going to occur in your spreadsheet, the details will not be sent towards your workflow. So it is really important to switch on this button, because with every new event, now the details will be sent towards my workflow, and this workflow is going to run in real time. So yes, with this, we have successfully completed our trigger step, and I'm just going to move on towards my action step. So first, what I want is, I want to check that if this feedback is a positive feedback or a negative feedback. So for that, I'm just going to select my action application as OpenAI, and I'm just going to use my AI agent to analyze that if it is a positive or a negative feedback. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, and now over here we're just going to go towards this OpenAI API key page to get the token which we need to enter here. And after coming over here towards this page, we are simply going to go towards this create new secret key. You have to enter your key name and then select the project and click on this create secret key button, and your key will be created. I've already created my key, so I'm simply going to paste that key and click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. So as you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, and after entering this prompt, I'm just going to move on further. I'm just going to enter all of these details right over here in order to give it to my AI agent so that it can analyze that if this is a positive feedback or a negative or neutral. So to do this, I'm simply going to map all of these details. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Forms as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of a trigger application only. And as soon as we are just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details right over here which we have received from the response of our Google Forms. And once I'm just going to map all of these details, automatically my AI agent is going to analyze that if this response is positive or negative. Alright, so yes, over here I've entered this prompt, but you have to enter the prompt according to your own business needs. You don't have to necessarily use the same prompt. You can customize this prompt according to your own business needs and according to the response you want. Alright, so now I'm just going to simply map all of these details one by one right over here. So as you can see that I've successfully mapped all of these details, and now I'm just going to click on this button which says save and send test request. Alright, so I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request, and now my AI agent is going to analyze that if this feedback is positive or negative. So yes, you can see that we have received the response that this feedback is positive. Alright, so now I'm just going to add a filter condition right over here in my workflow. What I want is that if the feedback is positive, then only this workflow should move on further. Otherwise, I'm not going to post the negative feedbacks on my Facebook page, right? So that is the reason that I'm just going to add a filter conditions. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. I'm just going to select the action application as filter. It is a feature by Pabbly. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as filter values and click on this connect. Now for the label, I'm just going to select OpenAI, and from here we are just going to select this message content positive, and I'm just going to keep it as filter type as equals to, and now for the value, I'm simply going to enter positive right over here and click on this save and send test request. So the response of the AI agent is positive, then only this workflow is going to move on further. Now I'm just going to use my AI agent once again in order to generate the Facebook page post. So I'm just going to add another action step, select the action application, select the action event and click on this connect. Recently I've connected my OpenAI, so I'm just going to click on this select existing connection and then save. It is saying AI model, so I'm just going to select my AI model, and now for the prompt, I'm just going to enter my prompt using which I'm just going to generate the post for my SaaS based business. So to do this, I'm simply going to enter my prompt, and now you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, and one by one I'm just going to map all the details right over here in my prompt. First, I'm just going to map this full name right over here, then I'm just going to map the profession right over here, then I'm just going to move on further and map the rest of the details too. Like I'm just going to map this primary goal. I'm just going to search for primary goal right over here, and then I'm just going to map the primary goal, and the next I'm just going to map this used feature. So like I did above, I'm just going to map all of these details one by one so that my AI agent can generate me the Facebook page post. All right, so yes, you can also customize this prompt according to your own needs. All right, I'm just going to simply enter and map these details, and as you can see that I've successfully mapped all of these details right over here, and once again I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, my AI agent is going to generate me the Facebook page post. So we're just going to wait for a few seconds. Still using these details, my AI agent is going to generate me the Facebook page post, which I'm just going to further post on my SaaS based businesses Facebook page. All right, so as you can see that my AI agent has successfully generated me the Facebook page post. Over here, going to see meet test user, a thriving entrepreneur and a business owner who found a game changer in our platform. Test struggled with managing client inquiries and follow-ups, a chaos every business owner is far too familiar with. So yes, you can see that this is the testimonial which I'm just going to post on my Facebook with the hashtags. So yes, I'm just going to post it on my Facebook. Further, I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Facebook pages, and now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as create page post and click on this connect. Now it's asking me to select an existing connection or add a new connection. So if you have already connected your Facebook Facebook Pages account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now you have to click on this button which says connect with Facebook Pages. I'm just going to select my page, or you can say the account, and click on the continue button right over here to connect my Facebook page, or you can say Facebook account with my Pabbly Connect's workflow. And once I'm just going to click on this continue, with this we have successfully connected our Facebook pages. Now I'm just going to select my page right over here which is Pabbly Connect, and then I'm just going to move on further. For the message, I'm simply going to map the message which my AI agent generated, and now it is asking me for the link URL. So if you wish, you can definitely add the link of your website or something like that right over here, but this is not the required field, so I'm just going to leave it as blank. But for your own SaaS business, you can definitely add a link right over here. Like if this user use the CRM, you can add a CRM trial right over here, or another something like that. You can add it right over here. All right, and now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, and once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, as you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully posted on our Facebook page. So I'm just going to open my Facebook page, and I'm just going to refresh it right from here, and as you can see that just now we have posted a new post, and as you can see that this is the same which my AI agent generated. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now what is going to happen is that as soon as we are just going to receive a new response from my Google Forms, automatically my AI agent is going to first detect that if that message is positive, negative, or neutral, and then if the message is positive, then my AI agent is going to generate a Facebook page post for the same, and we're just going to post it on our Facebook page. So yes, it is really helpful for a SaaS business who wants to build trust in the eyes of their audience. So yes, now go try this amazing automation, because we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. All of this is going to happen in backend like I showed to you in the starting of this video. Now go try this amazing automation for your own SaaS business, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com, and if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.